Gates Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding, and I'm back again with Trader Lisa, again a paid funded trader, not just paid and funded, but consistently getting paid. Last time we spoke, we talked a little bit about some of the challenges of transition and what those outside of trading transitions how they can affect trading and kind of getting back into the swing of things. Well, clearly you're back in the swing of things because you're continuing to grow, continuing to get paid out, even since our last conversation, which hasn't been that long. We thought it might be interesting because of a little bit of context. Interestingly enough, you stated that you had put in a couple of requests, or several requests, I guess, for payouts in the last couple months. What happened? What was the end result of those requests?
After we last spoke, which was the end of February, I requested 4 more payouts.
Okay.
And 2 of them were approved and 2 of them were not approved.
Okay.
So they were denied. To be honest, I'm completely okay with it because I know I broke some rules during my ride, and I'm still lucky that I have these accounts and build them to this amount now. And now I'm trading them again I think within this week I will finish the 8 days again, and then I can request a new payout. And I'm totally fine with that. So, I mean, when I requested the payout, I knew that some of them will be denied.
Right.
I knew it right away.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind sharing, do you know what rule specifically it was that you broke?
Yeah, I think one of them was that I was not respecting my stop loss.
Okay.
And I was more than 30%.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was able to build it back. So
right.
I'm really lucky that I did that. And that is the most important thing. And I keep it. And now I'm building it. And, I requested a $500 $500 payment. My next request will be at least 1,000 or 1,500. Because I've now built the balance to request more, so that's even better.
Well, and this brings up a good point, because I think there's a lot of misconception out there about what happens when you get denied. When you get denied, it doesn't mean that the account is gone. It doesn't even mean that any of those profits are gone. The account balance stays the same, and all they say is continue to trade for another 8 days. Don't break any rules. And then re-request. So as you continue to build it on, all that does is that gives you more buffer, and it just increases your payout request, assuming that you continue to increase the balance over that period of time. Interestingly enough, we're having this conversation. If any of you watching this happen to watch the Trader Bacon show, you're probably familiar with my background. But after 27 long years since I first started trading, I actually put in my first payout request last week. And while it's still sitting in pending status, I'm very excited, but it's still sitting in pending status, but I now realize that I am actually going to get denied. And I'm okay with that as well. I realize that I continued trading the account, which is fine, but my first trade did dip below the threshold, which means that it fell under the minimum balance to get that payout, and then of course it shot back up. So that payout's going to invariably get denied. But since then, I've built up another, I think I requested 500. I think right now, with 2 more days to go on my 8 days, I would be eligible to request, I think, $2,600. What ends up happening is it's a great opportunity to reflect on where a trader has maybe fallen with risk management or trade management just in general, and not necessarily have to lose anything because of that. I mean, if you're at the point where you're barely getting to threshold, you're getting a payout, and then you're blowing the account, well, that's something that you need to work on as a trader. But if you're a consistent trader, if you're consistently managing your risk, managing your positions, continuing to trade and grow your account, which is ultimately what everybody wants, then it's really no harm, no foul. It's just wait a minute, and then we'll revisit after 8 more trading days. So we know now that you're obviously a very consistent trader. So for you, of course, it's no harm, no foul. But at the end of the day, even if you had lost those accounts, how would you feel at that point if you did lose those accounts and missed out on that payout, knowing that you broke those rules? Would that have a different effect for you?
That's a good question. I try to not think about that anymore.
Okay, I like that answer.
Yes, I'm at this point where I know I can build my account, and I know I can build my account with a buffer, and that is really important for me. So yes, of course, I will be losing accounts sometimes, because when you have one bad trade, then you have another bad trade, and then it leads to a lot of bad trades. And I had one account, I was 1 day away from requesting a payout. I had it was a 50,000 account, and I had it built to $54,000. And then I lost it. I had one bad trade, then another bad trade, then I said, okay, I stopped for the day. Then I traded the next day, I had another bad trade, another bad trade. I mean, all my other accounts were green. Everything was fine. I was able to trade the market, but this account, I lost it.
Right.
But that's okay, because I know I can build it again then a new one to this amount and then request a payout. So
well, I love that, and the reality is that there are different dynamics when you're trading a funded account. For me, I am eternally grateful. There's no way I could have made it this far without that opportunity. I just couldn't afford to continue blowing account after account after account, but I can continue to buy evaluation after evaluation, right, until I manage to get here. And I know that traders can be very sensitive about being really excited when they get qualified for a payout based on the account balance. It is a letdown sometimes when you realize, okay, maybe I had missed this rule, and it's unfortunate, but that really is the cost of trading with other people's money, so to speak. But when you look at the cost to benefit ratio, I mean, it's just massive. When I think about what I have seen traders do, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, in fact, even in some cases, millions of dollars that they've been paid out as funded traders with Apex Trader funding, getting denied on a $500 payout is really just not the end of the world. And I don't mean to soften it. I understand the frustration. I understand the disappointment, but it doesn't mean that we can't continue to build and grow beyond that. So I absolutely appreciate your insight and your input on that. I know we will probably have an opportunity to speak here again in a few more weeks, and I just can't wait to hear what the continued insight is. And I think we might be able to do something fun with the next one. I won't let the cat out of the bag. But as always, Lisa, thanks for hanging out with me and sharing some of your insights. We'll chat with you soon.
talk to you soon.